DAB Digital Radio.
This is Like a Radio.
Died following the collapse of a hotel in China, which was being used to quarantine patients with suspected coronavirus. Officials say 48 people have been rescued. Back here, the Chancellor says he's ready to step in and help businesses if they're hit by the outbreak. Rishi Sunak delivers his budget on Wednesday. It will also see the Chancellor put aside more money for flood defences across England. The Treasury wants to double the funding to £5.2 billion. It'll be available from next April. The Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, thinks the extra cash will make a real difference.
It's going to pay for around 2,000 different flood schemes around the country. It's going to protect over 300,000 homes. We've all seen the devastation wreaked on communities by flooding. This will make an enormous difference to people's lives.
Layla Moran's confirmed she'll run in the race to become the next leader of the Liberal Democrats. Nominations open in May. It's emerged the Duchess of Sussex paid a surprise visit to a school in East London this week to celebrate International Women's Day. Meghan urged boys to value the women in their lives. And it really does look like Daniel Craig is walking away from playing James Bond. He's denied rumours he's considering staying for another movie. That's the latest. I'm Kiran Bangor.
On air 14:58am on your mobile and DAB Digital Radio.
You're listening to Like a Radio. Like a Radio weather.
Hi, the weather update. Just as I'm signing off, still dry out there. A nice calm morning. It will be windy later, so look out for that blustery winds and there's chance of heavy rain with some hail and thunder later. Top temperature 12 degrees Celsius.
The flight update is brought to you by Skylord Travel in association with Qatar Airways.
All right, flight update. Everything still is on time, which is great. Delhi to London Heathrow, BA flight 256, landing 3:20. That's on time. American Airlines 6664. That's also on time at 3:20 this afternoon. And then Mumbai to London Heathrow, Air India 131 arriving on time 11:30 this morning. And Air Canada 6391 also arriving on time 11:30 this morning. And now we go over to Mr. Keith Fad with our super inspirational talking points with Mr. Surinder Arora.
The flight update was brought to you by Skylord Travel. For all your travel needs, call 0208 582 1111 or visit skylordtravel.com. Kick it! All about the music.
Like a Radio. All about the music.
This is Like a Radio.
Happy Weekend by MeraBoiler.com. Their special offer, Valiant Boiler with 10 years part and labour guarantee with 0% finance available. MeraBoiler.com.
Leica.
This is Like a Radio.
It's Sunday the 8th of March, International Women's Day. Thank you, Sonia, our Woman of the Hour, for another scintillating show. Hello and welcome to Talking Points on Like a Radio with me, Keith Vaz. Each week, I will be speaking to a high-profile guest about politics, current affairs and business, and of course their distinguished careers. There will also be a selection of music, some chosen by our guest. This week, my guest is Surinder Arora, the founder and chairman of the Arora Group. This is one of the largest private-owned operators of hotels in the United Kingdom. He also has mega plans to build the 6th terminal at Heathrow Airport, when we get the 3rd runway.
Like a Radio.
Welcome, Surinder.
Good morning, Keith.
Now, your story begins in the Punjab a long time ago, 1958, which is when you were born. Do you remember much of that early life?
I'm a young man, Keith. That was only just a few years ago. I was born in Punjab and I was only a few days old when I was adopted by my mum's sister because they didn't have any children, and I was born as a mistake after a 10-year gap. My parents already had 3 siblings, 3 children, and then after a 10-year gap, when I was born, my mum's sister didn't have any children, and they adopted me. So as I was growing up in Punjab, I was basically, as I believed, living with my parents. And it was only in 1971 when my real mum, who I used to call auntie in those days, went back to India from London to see family. And she realised that Surinder is turning out to be a bit of a gangster. I was 11 and a half. I was carrying a knife. I was gambling. I was having the odd smoke. So she realised that really what she wanted from her fourth child. And she managed to persuade my mum and dad in India to let me come over to London, and she'll knock me into shape, help me study, and then send me back to be with my parents.
So this was with your consent, or?
Well, I was too young.
You were too young.
I was too young, but really when my natural mum realised that I was turning out to be a bit of a loose cannon, and she said to my other parents in India, my Indian parents, look, you really spoiled Surinder. We know that he's the only one with you as a son, but you need to send him to London so I can knock him into shape.
So you arrived here at the age of 13. And when were you told that you had been adopted? And what was it a shock to you?
Well, it was in a sense, because when I landed at Heathrow, I met my parents and my brother, and I only knew them as my uncle and auntie. I said, hello, uncle, auntie, at Heathrow. And we went home. A few days later, over dinner table, they said to me, look, we need to tell you something, that you are our son, we're your natural parents. And it was a bit of a shock. But then I'm, over the next few days, thinking about it, and I said, well, Surinder, you feel lucky that you've got two mums and two dads. That's how I've spent my life.
And you began a career as a junior clerk with BA at Heathrow. In fact, we are now at Terminal 5 at Heathrow Airport, the place where you landed, where your business is based, where your ambitions are raised, and you seem to have spent all your life at Heathrow Airport.
Yeah, I guess I have. I started working when I was 18, because when I came from India, I didn't know a word of English, not even the alphabet, so it was quite tough. I didn't really get past I didn't do any O-levels or A-levels, and I didn't know what to do with my life. I said to Mum and Dad, I'd probably go and be a policeman. And
Commissioner Arora.
Well, Keith, a lot of our Asian families in those days would want to have doctors and accountants.
Sure.
And so a family friend, Mum and Dad were talking to him and said, look, Surinder wants to be a policeman. We don't think he should do that. And he took me to Ulster, London School of Flying, paid for the first flying lesson. And I came home and I said, Mum and Dad, I loved obviously flying. I'd love to be a pilot. The only problem is I haven't got any qualifications, so I can't go down the graduation route. The only way I can learn to fly is if I pay for it myself. So Mum and Dad said, look, my mum was very upfront. She said, son, if that's what you want to do, we'll remortgage or sell our house for you, which I couldn't do to my elderly parents. And that's when I went and got a job with British Airways as a junior clerk. But it wasn't enough in a sense. I was getting £34 a week and I had £21 an hour to pay towards flying lessons. So I then went and used to work as a wine waiter at the Penta Hotel.
Yes, which is still there under a new name.
Yeah, now it's the Renaissance Hotel. But so I used to do my 9 to 5:30 job at British Airways. Then I'll go to the Penta Hotel, start there as a wine waiter at 6 p.m. and finish at 1 or 2 in the morning, and then go home and back at 9 o'clock at British Airways.
We're going to take a short break now, but we're going to start the programme with one of your songs. We've asked you to select 3 songs, so this is the first. And tell us why this song is important to you.
Well, he's one of my favourite singers. I've been a huge fan for many, many years, and I really admire him. Love his songs, and it's Rahat, our dear Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, and Terabin. It just touches my heart.
Okay, so let's have a listen to that, and we'll take a short break after.
तेरे बिना दिल नहीं लगदा मेरा दिल नहीं लगदा तेरे बिना दिल नहीं लगदा मेरा दिल नहीं लगदा तू ही मेरी है जिंदगी तू ही मेरी है हर खुशी तू ही मेरी है बंदगी कैसे कहूँ कहाँ जाऊँ किसे करूँ सजदा हाँ किसे करूँ सजदा तेरे बिना दिल नहीं लगदा मेरा दिल नहीं लगदा कैसे कहूँ कहाँ जाऊँ किसे किसे करूं सजदा हाँ किसे करूं सजदा तेरी कसम जाने जाना तेरे लिए मैं दीवाना कैसे जिए बताना मौत भी मुझको ना तेरी कसम जाने जाना तेरे लिए मैं दीवाना कैसे जिए बताना मौत भी मुझको ना मेरी है जिंदगी तू ही मेरी है बंदगी तेरे बिना दिल नहीं लगदा मेरा दिल नहीं लगदा
Like a radio. Like a radio.
You know, your dad and I really want to travel the world, but we can't do it alone anymore. We need help.
Mom, don't be parishan. I've got just the right thing for you. Citybond Tours will take you to exotic worldwide destinations with a small group of like-minded people and a friendly tour guide to escort you throughout the journey.
Oh, that sounds perfect and exciting.
With over 45 years' experience, Citybond Tours are highly experienced travel specialists. Contact Citybond Tours on 0207 290 0601 or visit citybondtours.co.uk. We are ATOL protected.
Pakistan is calling. The mobile plan you've been waiting for has arrived. You can now get 1,000 minutes to call Pakistan from your Leica mobile with Pakistan Plus M bundle. You can also get 3 GB of data and 1,000 minutes and text in the UK. All of that for the low price of £20 for 30 days. Never miss the chance to keep in touch with your family again with Leica Mobile. Visit leicamobile.co.uk to see the full offer today. T&Cs apply. Leica Mobile.
Great news! ePOS Direct now offer table service app worth £499 completely free with every ePOS system. Use ePOS Direct for better table service and maximum sales in your restaurant and takeaway. For more info, call ePOS Direct on 0208 242 6130. That's 0208 242 6130.
She's back. Star Plus presents Shreya Ghoshal live in concert, performing her greatest hits at the SSE Arena, Wembley, on Saturday, the 21st of March, 2020. Tickets are selling very fast and this show just cannot be missed. Shreya Ghoshal live in concert. For tickets, log on to axs.com or ticketmaster.com or call Videorama on 0208 907 0116. A Grace Entertainment and TCO production, powered by MoneyGram and Dairy Valley. Exclusive radio partners Leica Radio.
की फर्नीचर सबसे हटके प्राइसेस कट के इस वीकेंड में बेडरूम डाइनिंग और लिविंग रूम फर्नीचर पर 70% तक ऑफ की फर्नीचर पिकलवुड कैंटन या हैचएंड आइए पर जल्दी कीजिए सेल मंडे शाम 5 बजे खत्म हो जाएगी
Are you building your business or promoting a brand? Do you need new customers? Or do you need to keep your name in the mind of all your customers? Then you need to advertise on Leica Radio 1458 and Dilsey 1035. Our stations cater for a large audience of South Asians who live and work in and around Greater London. Call our experienced sales team on 0207 132 1458 and you can be on air in no time at all. That's 0207 132 1458.
YONO, you only need one.
YONO, you only need one.
YONO, you only need one.
योनो 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 अरे भाई ये योनो है क्या?
YONO is the all-in-one mobile banking app from SBI UK. Send money to India 24/7 and get the preferred rates for rupee remittances. Open a fixed deposit account or cash ISAs. You can even view your SBI India accounts. Download YONO SBI UK mobile app today because now you need only one.
SBI UK Limited is authorised by the PRA and regulated by the FCA and the PRA.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Leica Radio, 1458, talking to my guest on Talking Points this week, the entrepreneur Surinder Arora. He was telling us about his early life, working as a junior clerk and also as a wine waiter. How long did you stay doing that before you left to start in the financial sector?
Well, I was doing the two jobs, Keith, in 77. So from 77 till 82, I kept doing both jobs. And in 82, when there wasn't as much work at the Penta Hotel, where in previous years I would get 3, 4, 5 jobs a week, I was only getting 1 or 2. And that's when I got an opportunity to go and work with Abbey Life as a financial advisor. And I remember going there, and the manager there said to me, well, we'll give you a week's training and, you can come in. And I remember coming home after my interview and I said to my mum, Mum, I don't want to be a financial advisor knocking on doors, carrying a briefcase. I said, I'm now going to go and spend that week, instead of training, I'm going to go on a week's holiday in America. And good old Mum, she was the most incredible person on the planet. And she said to me, son, what do you have to lose? A week of your time. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, you can always go on holidays later. And thank God I did. So I remember joining. In fact, I always tease my friends and family and I say I got married twice in 82. I joined Abbey Life in September 82. That was one marriage. And then I married my lovely Sunita in October 82.
And where did you meet Sunita? She was in the country, was she?
She was in the country.
Right.
I was born in India. Sunita was born in Kenya. And we were introduced through an auntie earlier that year. And we got married in October. And I remember the first Christmas party I went to in Abbey Life, which was in January the following in 83. And it was at the Osterley Motel on Great West Road. And we were shoved right at the back of the room. And because I was a new kid, I was only been with Abbey Life for 3 or 4 months. And I felt a bit, I wouldn't say ashamed, but as nobody, because everyone was sort of front of the room. Sunita and I were right at the back, and I could see from the distance the top table was the top financial advisor, the branch manager, the sales director, the MD, and everyone. All the big boys were there, and I was with my newlywed wife right at the back of the room. So I remember saying to Sunita, honey, next year we're going to sit at the top table. And sure enough, I worked hard the following year, and out of the next 6 years, 5 years I was number 1 in the branch, and 1 year I was number 2 out of nearly 120 advisors.
But you then left because presumably had you stayed, you could have ended up as the top guy at Abbey Life. You left to start your own company. Why did you do that? That's another leap of faith.
Well, no, I've always been used to doing juggling more than one ball in the air. So I was doing both my jobs, BA and Abbey Life. But by then, I switched on to early shifts. The good thing working at the airport, it's 24/7. So instead of working days, I will start work at 6:30 in the morning, work at British Airways till 2:30, then go to my Abbey office in Isleworth, do my paperwork, admin work, literally come home for 10-15 minutes, quick bite to eat, and I'll be out on appointments in the evening. And I wouldn't get home till about 11 at the earliest. So I would be doing from 6 till 11, literally working 7 days a week. And in between, I'll be refereeing my football matches because I love the game. I'll be doing some private flying because I had my pilot's license. So, I hardly saw the kids. I mean, I was literally working.
I can remember a speech you gave at a function in London where you described your relationship with your family. I'm sure it was tongue-in-cheek because you're a wonderful father and a husband, where you said that outside your door they'd put a picture of you and they said, do you know this man? Can you find him for us?
If you see this, it was on the inside of our front door.
Yes.
Sunita had pinned
so this is a true story?
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
She pinned my photo on the inside of the front door and she said, if you see this man, let him in, he's your dad. But, the nice thing is she's been an incredible wife, Sunita, and, you can't clap with one hand. You need both parties. And if she wasn't there to look after and bring up our 3 lovely kids, I wouldn't be sitting here. And I think, this is a joint effort, and that's something I've always been proud of. So I used to go out and work, and Sunita would look after the household and the children and my parents, which I'm always been grateful to her for, and I will be for the rest of my life.
Good. We're going to take another short break, and we're going to be back to talk about the development of the Arora Group with its founder and first and only chairman, Surinder Arora. This is Talking Points with Keith Vaz on Leica Radio 1458.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Leica Radio 1458, talking to my guest this week, Surinder Arora, the entrepreneur. You founded the Arora Group in 1999, which began as a 4-star hotel here at Heathrow Airport, specifically for the staff of BA. You've got a particular relationship with this airline. Why did you establish your hotel group?
I think it was a sheer accident, Keith. I saw an opportunity, I saw a gap in the market, and it was really opportunity in the right place at the right time. And a lot of people, including my dear Sunita, didn't believe when I went home one day and said, honey, we're going to build a 300-bedroom hotel at Heathrow. And it was something that I saw, well, I think we can actually do it better than what is there at the moment. There was no crew hotel in the country, so we decided to build the first ever crew hotel. My own bankers didn't believe in it.
You mean never before had an airline had something like this?
We'd never had a crew hotel in the country. There was a crew hotel in the States.
And this was your idea?
This was my idea.
And what did they say?
Well, originally, I remember going into British Airways and talking to them and saying, well, look, my land is right opposite your crew centre. Instead of you driving people around in coaches around the airport going to different hotels, I can build you a crew hotel. They can just walk across. But the next thing I got a call from British Airways saying, come and give us 1 hour presentation. And I thought, sugar, I know nothing about hotels. So what do I do? And I took my architect, a lovely gentleman from Hounslow, Saeed Rahman, who was from Bangladesh. And I said, Saeed, please come and help me because I need to have this big meeting with British Airways. Well, Saeed had only built an extension for me at home. So off we go to British Airways, and I think within 20 minutes they realised that these jokers...
So who was the presentation to?
To the head of hotel contracts in British Airways.
Right.
And they said, come and give us a 1 hour presentation, and within 20 minutes they realised that these jokers haven't got a clue, and they walked us out.
Really?
But I didn't give up. I've never given up in life, and in the end it paid off. And even my own bank then said to me, are you mad, Surinder? Why don't you sell the site for tens of millions and you can actually go and retire on the beach somewhere? And I said to my bank director, no, Tom, I said, it's a challenge and I want to deliver this challenge. Now, it could have gone horribly wrong and I could have been in a council house, but successfully, well, thankfully, thanks to God, that the hotel became such a success that within 6 months, British Airways came along, American Airlines, can you build another one for us at Heathrow? Can you build another one at Gatwick? And from there on, it just took off.
Now, you run a group that has 15 hotels.
16 now.
16. And over 6,000 rooms. You employ hundreds of people.
Nearly 3,000 staff now.
3,000. And probably, just looking at the way in which you greeted your staff when you arrived here and the way they greeted you, you probably know every single one of them personally.
Quite a few, most of them.
How much bigger can this venture go?
I think, again, learning from my dear mum, my late mum, she always said, son, make sure you look step ahead in life, but also look step behind. And then I said to mum, what does that mean, mum? And she said, if you look step ahead, son, you'll always remain ambitious. And if you look step behind, you'll never forget your past. So those things are very true. And, we say back in India, fruit doesn't grow on tall trees. Keep your head down. In life, we all human beings, we're all the same. It doesn't make someone bigger or smaller if you got a pound more than I have, or vice versa. That's relevant. And I think when I was opening my first hotel, I wanted to be different from other hotels, which was I want to treat my staff like family and my guests like royalty. And that's really what's made a success.
But you've held out, whereas others have gone to the big chains. This is privately owned. This is your business. It's a family business, a traditional family business, obviously not the corner shop that one would expect. How do you keep it private? There must be people constantly saying to you, we would like to buy this. I mean, here we are, one of the great hotels in Heathrow, Sofitel, which is a class hotel that leads you straight into Terminal 5. How did you manage to get your hotel to have a bridge to Terminal 5?
Well, I remember BAA, the Old British Airport Authority, before they got the planning for T5, they'd made public that they will also have one terminal connected hotel. So I remember going to see the MD of BAA, and I said, John, would you consider my company to tender? I've been told that you'll be inviting 12 companies to tender for this hotel. And he said to me, under what brand, Surinder? And I said, Arora. My hotels are called Arora. And he said, no, thank you. We're going to build £4.5 billion terminal, and it has to be a 5-star international brand. So then remember going to all the major companies and said, would you give me a franchise on your top brand? And all the hotel companies say, no, you can build it, Surinder, you can own it, but we must manage it. We don't want someone destroying our brand. And against all the odds, I managed to convince Accor, Sofitel. They had never given a franchise before. That was nearly 15 years ago, and they haven't given franchise to anyone since. So we became the first ever franchisee, and since then we now have the reputation that all the major companies will give us a franchise on Intercontinental. So we have now relationships with Intercontinental Hotels, with Sofitel, with Hilton, with Marriott. We're the only company, Keith, in the world that we actually have franchise with these top brands. And the latest one now we're building at Windsor, which used to be the old Seville Court, and at the end of this year that will open as a Fairmont. That's again upping the ante, and that's going to be an incredible property.
And is there going to be a connection to Windsor Castle, maybe?
Well, we're going to have, you'll be able to, we'll have a riding school. You'll be able to go in and horse ride into Windsor Great Park. We've got some exciting stuff there.
Wonderful. We're going to take another break, and we're going to hear from you on your next song and why it's important to you. What's this song called, Surinder?
This one is my favourite, Shreya Ghoshal. Shreya Ghoshal is someone I've just admired. She won the Indian Idol years ago, but she's got the most incredible voice. And the song is called Pal. I love her voice, I love her songs, and it's one of my favourite songs.
So let's listen to Surinder Arora's second choice, and we'll be back after.
This is Like a Radio.
पल 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 हर पल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल 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 हर पल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल
दिल 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 में मची है हलचल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल
पल पल पल पल हर पल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल हाँ 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 ला 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 ला
ओ हम सफर लगता है डर रात कटे ना कभी हो सहर
इस पल में सिमटे उमर
रात कटे ना कभी हो सहर
तू जो है साथ मेरे तो डगर लगे कि जैसे खूबसूरत घर तू जो है साथ मेरे तो डगर लगे कि जैसे खूबसूरत घर
तू जो है साथ तो ये अंबर लगे कि जैसे साया हो सर पर तेरे कांधे पर रख कर सर यूं ही कट जाए सारी उम्र
पल 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 हर पल कैसे कटेगा पल हर पल हाँ 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 ला 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 ला
कल क्या हो किसको खबर लगता है डर
इस पल में सिमटे उमर रात
कटे ना कभी हो सहर
Like a Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Like a Radio 1458, talking to my guest this week, the entrepreneur Surinder Arora. Now for the next challenge, having established a group of hotels with over 3,000 members of staff. This is probably your biggest challenge. We heard the news that we were going to have a third runway at Heathrow Airport, and you have now put in a bid to build and run Terminal 6. This is quite a challenge. Why are you doing it?
Well, I love challenges, Keith. I mean, the Arora Group itself consists of 3 businesses: hotels, another separate group, property, another one, developments, real estate. So very different from other companies. And, when I came to Heathrow back in 72, Heathrow was the busiest international airport in the world. It was the cheapest airport in the world, from landing, parking, all the charges. Sadly, now we're the most expensive airport in the world. We are twice as costly for passenger charges, airline charges, etc., than Schiphol. We're 3 times more expensive than Dublin Airport. So especially...
But why is that?
Well, especially since the airport was acquired by the Spanish. It's now, a lot of people still think it's a government airport or a public-owned, UK public-owned airport. It's owned by the Spanish, Qataris and the Chinese, and with a few other partners. So people wouldn't believe that and think that. But it's not totally their fault. The way the system is the way the airport is regulated, so whatever they spend on running, expanding the airport, they're just allowed to make a huge markup of 6%. Now, 6% may not sound huge, but the more they spend, the more they make. So hence, a lot of people are shocked when they hear and say, my God, are you telling me that they build everything gold-plated and they spend money? Well, that's exactly what the Heathrow Airport have been doing for years and years. So when they built Terminal 2 5-6 years ago, at Terminal 2 car park, which is attached to the terminal, they charged the airlines and the passengers £62,000 per space to build that car park, compared to Gatwick are now building a car park and they're spending between £13,000 to £14,000 per space. We built a car park for British Airways about 3 years ago at Heathrow, and we spent about £10,000 per space. So for Heathrow to spend nearly 6 times more, because the more they spend, the more they make. And so, they've got super monopoly, and it's a huge business. And But
it's still a big challenge, isn't it?
I'd love to
take on these giant companies in what is one of the biggest airports in the world.
Of course.
And to build a terminal. I mean, when you arrived at the age of 13 at Heathrow Airport, we know these stories when, the famous Remington advert, I like the razor, so I bought the company. So you arrived at Heathrow Airport, and now you want to build a terminal.
Well, I love those challenges, but I think, it's such a big business, Keith, that it's about time that their monopoly is broken. So Heathrow Airport are so smoking mirrors. They're never, ever transparent to the airlines or the passengers or the CAA.
Basically, they're monopoly.
They're monopoly, but the way they actually do things, the outside world doesn't really know. Which is quite sad. That they've been saying in the past, when the Davies Commission report came out and said Heathrow should be expanded, and we've been saying to the government that their total expansion cost is 31 billion, and we can do that for half of the cost. And we were told by
build a terminal and
the runway, we can build the whole thing for half. So, and now recently. A few months ago, CA declared Heathrow's numbers, which was their total numbers for expansion of 32.5 billion. Now, we've actually done all the work. I've got over 300 people working, planning scheme, for our new Terminal 6. And we've said we can actually deliver the same expansion for more than 10 billion cheaper than what Heathrow can. Heathrow is saying the expansion will take, for them to expand the airport fully, to give them 135 million passengers, they will carry on and keep on expanding till 2050, 30 years from now. We're saying we can actually have the whole expansion done by 2032 and do it over 10 billion cheaper and build better quality and have a terminal where passengers going through will have a taste of hospitality experience.
We're going to come back and talk about the vision the Aurora vision of what that terminal is going to look like and why it's going to be different from the terminals we have at the moment. We're going to take a short break. This is Keith Vaz on Leica Radio 1458, talking to the entrepreneur Surinder Arora. Join us after the...
This is Leica Radio.
Leica Radio.
TravelHubLTD.co.uk. TravelHubLTD.co.uk. अरे बाबा याद हो गया TravelHubLTD.co.uk. उनका नया वेबसाइट.
For the cruise, tailor-made holiday, hotel bookings and honeymoon packages. हमसे सस्ता कहीं नहीं मिल सकता. Call Travel Hub 24/7 on 0208 782 8833 or visit TravelHubLTD.co.uk.
Travel Hub, best service with unbeatable price.
At all protected.
Like a Phone Shop limited offers. Save hundreds of pounds on iPhone, Samsung, Oppo and Alcatel. Exclusive offers on boom buds and Bluetooth headphones. Up to 50% off SIM bundles like 40GB SIM, unlimited minutes and text plus 100 international minutes, just £20 per month. All the products available to purchase via flexible payment options. Buy now, pay later. Slice it in 3, spread the cost by Klarna Finance. Visit eshop.leicamobile.co.uk. Offers valid while stocks last. T&C apply.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono. अरे भाई ये योनो है क्या?
Yono is the all-in-one mobile banking app from SBI UK. Send money to India 24/7 and get the preferred rates for rupee remittances. Open a fixed deposit account or cash ISAs. You can even view your SBI India accounts. Download Yono SBI UK mobile app today because now you need only one.
SBI UK Limited is authorised by the PRA and regulated by the FCA and the PRA.
She's back. Star Plus presents the Shreya Ghoshal live in concert, performing her greatest hits at the SSE Arena, Wembley, on Saturday, the 21st of March, 2020. Tickets are selling very fast and this show just cannot be missed. Shreya Ghoshal live in concert. For tickets, log on to axs.com or ticketmaster.com or call Videorama on 0208 907 0116. A Grace Entertainment and TCO production, powered by MoneyGram and Dairy Valley. Exclusive radio partners Leica Radio.
Are you building your business or promoting a brand? Do you need new customers? Or do you need to keep your name in the mind of all your customers? Then you need to advertise on Leica Radio 1458 and Dilsey 1035. Our stations cater for a large audience of South Asians who live and work in and around Greater London. Call our experienced sales team on 0207 132 1458 and you can be on air in no time at all. That's 0207 132 1458.
BAPS स्वामी नारायण मंदिर नीजडन की ओर से एक आवश्यक सूचना। वर्तमान कोविड-19 संकट यानी कोरोना वायरस के प्रकोप और मंदिर के श्रद्धालुओं के स्वास्थ्य को ध्यान में रखते हुए 9 मार्च सोमवार को आयोजित होली महोत्सव अब नहीं मनाया जाएगा। कृपया नोट करें, मंदिर में मनाया जाने वाला 9 मार्च का होली महोत्सव अब कैंसिल कर दिया गया है। जय स्वामी नारायण।
This is Leica Radio.
With the latest traffic and travel next.
You know what it's like when you can't find your debit card? Panic. That's what it's like. Until you realise, as a Halifax Visa debit card holder, that you can freeze your card on the spot. Control your Halifax Visa debit card with the Halifax mobile app. Easy as.
You can only freeze certain transaction types. Terms and conditions apply.
Leica Radio travel update.
I'm Johnny Ratner. The M23 stays closed southbound until the early hours of tomorrow for the roadworks between Junction 8 for the M25 and Junction 10 for Crawley, causing queues on the diversion, especially on the A22. Very slow heading through Blindley Heath as a result. In the city, London Wall stays closed westbound for emergency repairs. That's from the A501 Moorgate to Wood Street. And in Ely, very heavy on the North Circular in both directions at Queen's Drive. It's all because of the roadworks, with queues back into Ealing Common northbound and from Hanger Hill Park as well, heading southbound. In Edmonton, the Angel Road flyover still got a lane blocked by emergency repairs. That's westbound at the Kenninghall interchange with queues halfway back to Crooked Billet. And in Kew, looking slow on Kew Road. That's southbound towards the M4 at the Chiswick roundabout because of the works. In Catford, delays on the South Circular. That's westbound approaching the roadworks at the Catford Gyratory and onto the tubes. And there's no service on the Bakerloo line between Stonebridge Park and Harron Wilston, with mine delays on the rest of the line because of emergency engineering works. The Central line, the underground station at Gants Hill, is closed because of a security alert. And on London North Western, they've got no service at London Euston because of overhead line problems. And there's also no service on London Overground between London Euston and Watford Junction, and that's also because of emergency engineering works. And that's the latest traffic and travel.
Leica Radio.
Leica
Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Leica Radio 1458, talking to Surinder Arora, the entrepreneur, with his biggest challenge yet. David v. Goliath, taking on the behemoth, that is the people who run Heathrow Airport, to try and build Terminal 6 and the third runway at, he tells us, half the cost. Tell us what this terminal is going to look like. Obviously, all terminals have to be the same. You have to go in, you have to check in, go through security and wait for your plane to take off or arrive. How's it going to be different?
Well, this is why we want to break up Heathrow's super monopoly, is because at the moment there is no benchmark to measure their performance, whether it's the timing through security, whether it's the customer service, whether it's the cost to the passengers, cost to the airlines. At least if you have another body, it doesn't matter whether it's us or another company, one should at least have a benchmark. So what we're saying, what we're proposing, of course we always want to do things differently. BAA themselves, before it was broken up, before the Spanish bought them, had no faith in Surinder building a 5-star hotel at Heathrow. When we built it, the hotel we're sitting in, Keith, the Sofitel at Terminal 5, it was voted as the best new airport hotel in the world. So we like to build, and as you walk around this building, and people can't believe that it's nearly 12 years old and it looks new. So that, so we like to build, but we always want to deliver value for money, and then delivering that customer service. I've always said, delivering service standard with a smile.
Sure, but is it going to be physically different? If you go to Doha, for example, you see the huge teddy bear, and the number of people who gather around the teddy bear for a photograph is incredible. Dubai is getting a little old, I think. I mean, the big, long mall in the middle of Dubai Airport. So how is Terminal 6 going to capture the imagination of the world?
If I show you some of the plans, and we're actually going to be doing the next public consultation in July, and you'll see all our latest plans, and it is going to be mind-blowing when you see it. It's no good, I've always said, we don't want to just come and try to shake the tree or to break up Heathrow's monopoly. If we're just going to deliver same as Heathrow, we need to be different, we need to be better, and we need to offer that hospitality experience. I hate long queues. Even when I come into my hotels, I hate long queues for people checking in, checking out. So it's offering that service and standards with a smile is something that we were going to
What's the timetable for this now? Because presumably it's a done deal. The government said it's going to go ahead with it, but you have powerful figures such as the Prime Minister himself and Lord Goldsmith, until recently the MP for Richmond. They have gone on record as saying they don't want this terminal, they don't want the third runway. Is this definitely going to happen? Is it like HS2, we're going to have to wait for the decision to be made, or is it all a done deal?
I think if we left it to HAL, the current operator, it is becoming another HS2, because they've just gone to the CAA to say, I'm sorry, our costs for planning, just for the planning application, have gone up from 265 million to over 500 million pounds, and the enabling works, which they was planning to spend about 500 million, they've now gone up to 2.5 billion. So they've gone to the CAA asking for more money, of just over 3 billion pounds before they get planning. Now, we ourselves, Keith, as a company, as a private company, we're spending over 100 million pounds of our own cash speculatively on this planning process. Now, Heathrow's money they're spending, they get it out of the passengers' taxes and money. They don't spend their own money. So if I didn't believe in it, I genuinely believe that we need to move on as a UK, as a nation. Otherwise, we're losing to Europeans, we're losing to...
Which is the biggest rival? Is it Frankfurt or Paris?
Well, Frankfurt, Paris, Madrid, Schiphol, Dubai, all these airports. And it's not just for passengers running around on holidays or anything, but it's the connectivity from a business perspective with the rest of the world.
Thank you for that. And I think we look forward to following this journey and this story, and judging by what you've done in every other enterprise that you've got involved in, I put my money on Surinder Arora to win this.
Thank you.
We're going to take our final break, and we're going to hear from you on your final song, and we are going to be back shortly.
Leica.
This is Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points, Leica Radio 1458. Talking to my guest, Surinder Arora, the entrepreneur. We've heard about his plans for Terminal 6, which sound extremely exciting. Surinder, you've got a family that has supported you throughout your working life, and although you jest that you weren't there, you obviously were, because they're an extremely loving family. And Sunita's your wife of how many years?
I always tease my dear Sunita, Keith, that she's my child bride because she's got Cliff Richard genes. She's very young, very young-looking grandma, and this year we will be married for 38 years.
And she's involved, because walking past some of those chairs that I've seen in Sofitel here, she apparently chose the chairs.
Absolutely. So anything to do with interiors, she'll work with the team and the interior designers, because I'm hopeless and Sunita does it all.
And what about the children? Are they also involved in the business?
So I'm blessed with 3 lovely children. Sapna, my eldest daughter, she's got 2 gorgeous grandkids.
And what are their names?
And Rohan. Anushka's 7, Rohan's 5. And then I've got Sonia, my dear Sonia, who's married to Indy, and they have 3 gorgeous kids, Gia, Anaya, and Rohan. Gia's 6, Anaya's 5, and Rohan's 2.
And is your son Sanjay involved in the business as well?
And Sanjay as well. And Sanjay is married to lovely Raj. And we've just been blessed this week, Keith, that Sanjay and Raj have become parents. Their first child, Sanveer, was born early this week. And we're just so blessed to God that we have a wonderful family.
Amazing. Well, that is the first for Talking Points. The first time the birth of a child has been mentioned live on our radio programme. So thank you very much for that.
We're blessed.
Is there going to be big celebrations?
Absolutely. And of course, you're going to be there as part of the family.
Thank you very much. Now, I've got some quick fire questions for you, as we do to all our guests, to test whether or not they are able to choose. Now we've got some quick fire questions for you to end this programme. So if you're ready for quick answers, Terminal 2 or Luton Airport?
Terminal 2.
Meghan or Kate?
Kate, of course.
Dubai or Dublin?
Dubai.
Kohli or Root?
Kohli.
Boris or Jeremy?
Absolutely Boris, no question.
Okay, so we're now on a Sunday. How does Surinder Arora spend his Sundays? Does he go round Wentworth Golf Course playing golf? Does he go to visit one of his hotels? How do you spend a Sunday?
I spend time with the family, and at the weekends I get to play a bit of golf as well, which is lovely. So I think you've got my office bug, Keith, and yes, I'm going to go and hit a few balls.
Surinder Arora, it has been an absolute pleasure to interview you. Thank you very much for participating in Talking Points with me, Keith Vaz, on Leica Radio 1458. Best of luck with your latest incredible adventure in taking on the giants of the airline industry. I should ask you this question. Did you ever think of starting your own airline? Because you've got the Aurora Hotel chain. You're now going to build a terminal. No Aurora Airlines because you've got a pilot's license.
Yeah, but there's a famous phrase, how to become a millionaire from being a billionaire is to buy an airline.
Or a football club.
Or a football club, yeah.
Okay, we're going to end with your final choice of song. So you need to tell us why, in particular, you've chosen the song. Why does it matter to your life? And then after the break, we will be back, listeners, with my song of the week. So finally, from Surinder Arora.
Well, the family always tell me that I'm not really big dancer or getting onto the stage, Keith. But this song always gets me on the dance floor, and I think it's a wonderful song, Gung Groove by Ajit Singh.
Okay, so if you're anywhere near Heathrow Airport and you see the building moving, it is the song and the dancing is by Surinder Arora. Thank you very much, Surinder.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you.
सारे ख्वाब करे क्या करने हैं उम्रों के वादे दिल लेना दिल देना जरूरी नहीं है इन बातों के सिवा भी बातें कही है कहीं से ज्यादा की ख्वाहिश नहीं है चाहे दोबारा ना मिलना कहीं मेरे सपने नहीं सीधे सादे है गलत फहमियां तो मिटा दे सुबह तक मान के मेरी बात तू ऐसे जोर से नाची आज के घुंघरू टूट गए के घुंघरू टूट गए.
That was Surinder Arora, the chairman of the Arora Group, no doubt celebrating the birth of his latest grandson. Stay tuned for Mohit with his Bollywood hits, which follows the news. If you're listening in Manchester, get ready for the Derby match, which should be a cracker. Each week, as you know, I choose my favourite song. This week, it's the favourite song of a friend of mine who celebrated his birthday on Monday last week. My thanks to Rupi, my producer. This has been Keith Vaz on Talking Points, Leica Radio 1458, signing off with Tum Hi Ho.
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे तो खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा क्योंकि तुम ही हो अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो पल दूर गवारा नहीं तेरे लिए हर रोज है जीते तुझको दिया मेरा वक्त सभी कोई लम्हा मेरा ना हो तेरे बिना हर सांस पे नाम तेरा क्योंकि तुम ही हो अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो साथ मेरा है नसीब जुड़ा तुझे पाके अधूरा न रहा क्योंकि तुम ही हो
अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो क्योंकि तुम ही हो अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो
Like a Radio.
Skylord Travel is giving you exclusive fares with Air India to India, connecting you to all over India with new double daily direct flights to Mumbai and Delhi. Traveling for holidays, work, or going to see your relatives, Air India will fly you there with best connections and best possible fares. With top service, Skylord Travel will make sure you get the best possible fares. Call 0208 582 1111 or visit skylordtravel.com.
Great news! ePOS Direct now offer table service app worth £499 completely free with every ePOS system. Use ePOS Direct for better table service and maximum sales in your restaurant and takeaway. For more info, call ePOS Direct on 0208 242 6130. That's 0208 242 6130.
She's back. Star Plus presents Shreya Ghoshal live in concert, performing her greatest hits at the SSE Arena, Wembley, on Saturday, the 21st of March, 2020. Tickets are selling very fast and this show just cannot be missed. Shreya Ghoshal live in concert. For tickets, log on to axs.com or ticketmaster.com or call Videorama on 0208 907 0116. A Grace Entertainment and TCO production, powered by MoneyGram and Dairy Valley. Exclusive radio partners Leica Radio.
Leica Radio.
This is Keith Vaz. Join me this Sunday at 10 a.m. on Leica Radio 1458 on Talking Points, when I will be interviewing Surinder Arora, the founder and chairman of the Aurora Group.
Leica Radio.
की फर्नीचर सबसे हटके प्राइसेस कट के इस वीकेंड में बेडरूम डाइनिंग और लिविंग रूम फर्नीचर पर 70% तक ऑफ की फर्नीचर पिकलवुड कैंटन या H&M आइए पर जल्दी कीजिए सेल मंडे शाम 5 बजे खत्म हो जाएगी.
Are you building your business or promoting a brand? Do you need new customers? Or do you need to keep your name in the mind of all your customers? Then you need to advertise on Leica Radio 1458 and Dilsey 1035. Our stations cater for a large audience of South Asians who live and work in and around Greater London. Call our experienced sales team on 0207 132 1458 and you can be on air in no time at all. That's 0207 132 1458.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono, you only need one.
Yono.
At Tesco, we've price matched Aldi on hundreds of products like bananas, peppers, minced beef, mushrooms, eggs, strawberries, even avocados. That's Tesco products at Aldi prices. So save yourself a trip. Tesco. Every little helps. Prices checked on comparable products in GBLD stores twice weekly. Price most often found is matched excluding promotional prices. Products matched vary by week. Selected Tesco stores excluding Express and all Northern Ireland stores. Product availability varies by store. Details at tesco.com/Aldi price match.
On 1458 in London.
On your mobile.
On DAB Digital Radio.
This is Leica Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 11, some local officials in Lombardy are criticising unprecedented measures that have put more than 16 million people in Italy on lockdown. The head of the region has described the move, which also affects 14 other provinces, as a mess. Cafes and restaurants can remain open, but only if those inside stay at least a metre apart. Meanwhile, the UK government's hoping to pass emergency laws that would help it deal with the outbreak if it gets worse. New rules would allow employees to leave their job for a time time to volunteer with health services. Chair of the Royal College of GPs, Professor Martin Marshall, says we should expect non-emergency